Okay. So yeah, you've just rolled for your show-off roll and it was a success, but barely so. How do you think you're gonna maybe draw attention away? Maybe you're gonna maybe you suggest buying a round of drinks for the rest of the party as a way of like doing a toast to your fallen comrades. Maybe that's a way.
Maybe, but would that actually get the attention of everyone at the bar, is what I'm thinking. Because, like, it's just random people that are watching us, right?
Yeah, it's random people giving you kind of like a side eye, maybe some whispers and all that.
Yeah, so what I think I'll do is I will... so I'm going to go up and I'm going to order a round of drinks, and we'll make this for the, for Archangel and Virtue. Just kind of be very loud about that.
And you know, those names are kind of popular enough, and it's been in the news that some people will actually kind of figure out who y'all are and what's going on here. So
I mean, if some people, sure, it's not like, you know, we look exactly the same as a bunch of other known pilots or anything.
True, you have very distinct physical similarities, but I'd say you also have a lot of differences too in your physical appearances than your genetic donors.
Fair.
Regardless, yeah, you or Cherub will actually go with you and tell the bartender, hey, make it a double shot.
Are you really looking to get that drunk tonight?
Girl, I am looking to get wasted.
Just don't do anything stupid.
She'll wink at you and be like, you know I never will.
I doubt it.
And with that, you can bring the drinks back to your table and you can all do a little cheers to your fallen, not so much mentors, but predecessors. Of course, Hugin having to open up a smaller compartment on the side of her suit in order to have the drink be accessible to her.
After the drink, I'm gonna point over to Hugin and be like, one of these days, I am building you a better one.
She kind of laughs and nods. It's like, yeah, sure. I'm counting on you, Muninn.
Hey, you don't think I could?
No, I'm not doubting you.
That sounds like doubt to me.
Right. With that, Cherub will interrupt. It's like, enough with the sad talk. Come on, let's go party. And she's gonna like start dragging you off to the dance floor, Muninn. Are you gonna let her?
I'll go. Oh yeah, I'll go with.
Yeah. She'll start. Yeah, so definitely with you two being in the dance floor, I would say it's that classic Will I Am and Britney Spears song, All Eyes on You. God, what was that reference? God, that just made me sound really old. That's what it did. What was that rap? That was such a... Holy shit.
I'm keeping that in.
I'm absolutely keeping that. Why do I remember that song? God, I'm old. But yeah, no, all eyes are gonna definitely be at you as you get to drag a lot of attention. Dancing, being loud. You can, from the corner of your eyes as you look around the bar, you can see Hugin kind of remains at the table nursing her drink. A little bit glad that the tension is off of her. Throne 4, I'd say there's probably like an arcade in the back, and he's gonna hit that. And you can see Principality kind of awkwardly attempting to do some small talk with a lady that looks much too old and not that interested in him near the bars.
Oh, this is gonna go terribly. I've got a bad idea, but I'm gonna do it.
Okay, what are you gonna do?
After dancing and hogging attention for a little bit, I'm gonna go over to Principality. just gonna wrap an arm around him and be like, hey, you need some pointers on this?
Are you gonna do that while he's just having a conversation with this girl, or are you gonna pull him aside?
I'm gonna pull him aside.
Yeah, so yeah, you can pull him aside, and he's gonna sigh. He's like, yeah, you know, actually, you're a lot better at this. How do you do what you do?
I guess first question is, do you actually like her, or are you just looking to talk to people?
I mean,
She's
anything
a
at this
bit
point.
too-
She's kind of cute.
Yeah, but she's also 30. I know. Listen, you might not be able to tell age as well, but you might want to go for someone a bit closer to yours.
He'll sheepishly nod. Are you gonna try to introduce him to some girl?
Yeah, I'll look around the room to see if there's anyone that stands out.
Sure.
Dude,
Huh? What?
you're a mech pilot. Show off a little.
Yeah, you're right. I guess, yeah. I'll try that. So he goes up to, I'd say, you point out a different girl to him. And Principality will kind of sheepishly go up to that person and be like, hey, girl, do you want to know about how many kills I got on my last mech simulation? And the girl...
Sorry, he's hopeless.
You can see yourself kind of just like smacking your forehead in the background. And he kind of looks back to you and he kind of gives you 2 thumbs up like he thinks he's doing so great.
Okay, dude, maybe let me do the introduction.
Let's make you do a charm roll or something. Just let's see if you can introduce your poor fellow canary to a girl of his dreams.
The good thing is, I have charm.
Oh, damn, you critically you critically succeeded at introducing someone to Principality. Bar girl. Right? And you're kind of like chalking him up, maybe like, oh, he's a cool mech pilot, have you this thing and this thing. And she kind of looks at you. It's like, oh, are you a mech pilot too? And Principality in the background's gonna be rolling it. It's like, oh god, here we go.
I mean, I am.
Oh, are you? And she's gonna come really close to you. Clearly more interested in you than poor Principality. You were a little bit too charming, it seems.
But yeah, no, I'll spend probably a good while longer just talking with her then.
Yeah. No, she's definitely very interested in you, and you can proceed that however you'd like.
Yeah. It wasn't exactly the goal, but I'll go with it.
Go with it. Principality's gonna go get himself another drink. He's a sad boy. He's gonna go back join with
any
Huggin.
luck, with any luck, she might know someone that might be interested in their own mech pilot.
He's gonna go back and sit with Huggin, sad. To the socially awkward.
Mm.
And with that, I'd say the night would pass on. You know, chirp, dancing the night away, being as loud, as drunk as possible. You'll probably have to carry, some of you will probably have to carry her back. Throne 4 would have spent, well, I would say he would make some buddies over at the arcade and would start shooting the shit with them. And Hugin and Principality 4 are in the socially awkward corner. Being socially awkward. As they do.
I'm still gonna occasionally bring up with the other girl if she knows anyone that might be
Someone else that might be interested?
Yeah.
Right?
I gotta help them out.
Goodbye.
I mean, I'm interested, but I gotta help him too.
Sure. Yeah, you're kind of implying to her anyone else who's very interested in your friend. It's just like, she'll she'll be a little surprised that you're kind of focusing on that and not on her, but then she'll say, yeah, I probably could find a friend, though she's not around today. Maybe we'll introduce to him later, though he's kind of... I mean, I saw... He's kind of weird, isn't he?
He doesn't get out much. Most of them don't.
Oh, but do you? And back to flirting with you. And with that, I think we can call this night out a relatively good success. Most people, for better or worse, managed to get their minds off of the tragedy that occurred in the morning. And I would say all of you ended up having a fun night. Principality in the near the end of the night kind of decides, fuck it, I'm just gonna enjoy my night and hits the dance floor with Cherub. Hugin relatively stays what we call in her corner. Probably the only one who you think didn't super enjoy the night. Throne has found his own set of buddies, and they're just like shooting the shit over there.
I mean, she could probably go over and deal with Throne. Like, if there's anyone else that I figured would be into arcade, it'd be her.
True. I guess
I'll probably like
yeah.
between stuff with this girl, I'll probably kind of try and get her attention and motion over to go join her with Throne. Thinking she might enjoy that.
Sure. She says, well, better than sitting around here. And then she'll go over. She'll be okay at games. You can tell that she is definitely much more of the bookworm type than the video game nerd type. But she'll kind of get along well enough, and Throne will kind of play along, noticing what you're doing. With that, the night would otherwise pass on relatively uneventfully. The next day, the day of the field trip. Now, as I mentioned before, you have spent most of your lives within the confines of this particular space station. However, there are some occasions where you would go and take certain field trips out into the Manu system, going into its various environs, learning to pilot your mechs in different places and planets under different gravities and different weather conditions. But you'd never left this solar system at the edge of human-controlled space within which you were born in. You never left it until today. Erebus, the giant blink gate of non-human origin that was the access point of humanity into the system, looms over you. In the morning, you were all told to get ready early and pack in. You were sent the information for your mechs and their setup to the printers, and they were printed and loaded into your shuttle ships. The excitement that was in the air yesterday has slowly returned to your group. This is the first time any of you are going to go outside the system.
Muninn's going to take the time before leaving to do a double check on her mech, the method. Just kind of making sure everything's working as it should. The printers generally get a good enough job, and there's rarely issues, but it lacks that touch, really.
That personal touch.
Yeah.
So you'll head. There is the main kind of seating area where you are seated in the shuttle, and then the undercarriage storage is where your mechs are loaded up. So you'll head down into the undercarriage, enter your mech, and start working on it, making small adjustments to its calibrations and its sensors and whatnot. As you work away, I'd say you notice Hugin come down with you. She kind of smiles and says, I figured you'd be down here.
Yeah, I gotta make sure these things are working right. You want to talk about something?
Nothing really. Though. And nothing really in particular. Just first time we're gonna get outside of Manu.
Yeah.
There's not gonna be any CT breathing down our shoulders where we end up.
I wouldn't be surprised if she found a way to.
Well, let me pretend, at least. Though, you're right. Yeah, she pulls up a little projection of the planet that you're going to. Maltition is a garden planet, mostly a tourist destination and a core world that is very near the Blink Gate in its system. Thankfully, the resources of SSC, the parent company of the Canary Institute, manage to secure for you all a large section of land for training purposes on this planet. In a way, it's supposed to be very far from your home. But in another way, it's not going to be all that different at all. You're still going to be under this very careful and monitored eye of the Canary Institute and SSC by large. It's still going to be another training exercise, no different from the rest. It's odd how, despite this being such an exciting event, from a logical perspective, you know that this won't really be that different than the simulations that you do every day anyway. There's a sudden shift and lurch as your ship hits the threshold boundary for the Blink Gate, as you are suddenly separated from reality for mere minutes into blink space, and then once again you re-emerge at a completely different system, one that you'd never seen before.
After that, I'm gonna I don't know, yell up to the passenger compartment. Little warning would be nice next time.
The pilots of this shuttle, which are just some comp cons, will just respond in the affirmative.
Is Hugin still down here? Did she head back up?
She'll be down here, but she'll start heading back up to rejoin the rest of the Canaries. After a while, an announcement will go over the PA system from the comp cons that are piloting the ship. All passengers, please return to your seats and fasten your seatbelts. We will be beginning re-entry.
I'll climb out of the method. How far into that test would you say I'd gotten?
So yeah, you'd gotten some good work done, I'd say. You know, it's altered some calibration settings, personalized some things to better suit your piloting style.
So yeah, I'll climb out and head up to the actual passenger compartment.
As you are heading up to the passenger compartments, climbing up the ladder that connects the two, suddenly there is a warning over the PA system. Unidentified object in radar stream. Incoming. And then there's a sudden blast as the side of your re-entry ship is hit by something.
And I was still on the ladder heading up.
With that lurch, give me some sort of physical related roll or this thing to basically kind of stay on and keep your grip.
I've got. You said you want me to roll something to hold on, right?
Yeah. Do you have
Can I
anything?
roll get a hold of something?
That feels a little bit weird. No.
Fair. Only other thing that might be relatively physical is take control.
Well, you're
Actually,
trying.
no, mag clamps. I got mag clamps.
Oh, you have mag clamps. Let's use the mag clamps then. What do the mag clamps do? Okay, carried. Oh yeah, that's actually good. So I think the mag clamps will, there'll be a straight D20 roll, but the mag clamps will give you an accuracy to kind of like hold on as you'll be able to in the moment, because you have to kind of like activate them quickly.
So it's 1d20 plus
A D6.
Let me hope I have this right. Let's hope that is the right command. Is it? It is not the right command. What is the right command?
/R, not exclamation mark R. $13 will be good enough, as you would actually slip off the stairs, but quickly activate the mag clamps that are embedded in your boots and clamp on to the inner surface of the tube, stabilizing yourself. There's a secondary blast, and you can hear a scream come from the passenger compartment as you can feel the entire shuttle beginning to slowly roll as it sinks further into the gravity well of the planet.
I'm gonna yell up the tunnel for everyone to... Yeah, everyone needs to get to their mechs. That's the best way to actually make sure everyone survives this. I'm stuck in the tunnel at the moment, so I gotta find my way out first.
Well, you're mag clamped to the surface. You can just like walk out.
Fair.
Right?
For that, I think what I'll do is I will head up top, then yell out and try and help people get down.
Okay, so would you like to kind of like take control of the situation, that type of thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do a take control roll.
Is there anything else? Because I know I've got some other things that might be useful, but I want to make sure if they would be in this situation. Maybe. So one thing I've also got built into like my pilot suit is I've got a set of stims. Let me just put that on here. It's got a few things in it, mostly like I'm thinking it was put into the suit as sort of like an emergency. Originally, it was put in as like emergency like injection for medication, like that one that CT has me taking, or just general medication for if I'm hurt in combat.
Right.
And then it sort of added these additional ones onto it as well.
Okay. In this situation, I would say, since you're trying to keep people calm, I would say an orderly kind of like command them. Maybe freeze would be actually best here.
Maybe, yeah. Kind of just keep things together and actually not really like freak out.
Yeah, which fits with the take control roll.
Yeah.
So I'd say I'll let you get an accuracy to your take control roll if you use the freeze stim.
Alright, so I'll mark down one use of that. Accuracy, okay, rolling. Ish.
Oh, as you're just about to reach just up and begin to calmly give everyone commands and orders that let's head over to the mechs, arm ourselves, get ready. Your commands are instantly overshadowed by another explosion happening from deep within the shuttle. One of your engines has been lost, and all of you, the rest of your canaries who weren't magged on, had started to like remove their seatbelts and follow your instructions to head over to the mechs, go flying off, hitting the ceiling and tumbling. There's screams in the compartment and panic beginning to set in.
Does anyone look seriously hurt from it, or is it like people are just dazed?
Dazed, I would say.
Dazed, okay.
There's a couple of things you could try to do. You could, seeing that the other canaries are having struggles, you could try to go to the cockpit of the ship itself and try to land it somehow. You could try to go to your mech yourself first and then use it somehow to help the rest of the canaries get to their mechs. There's a couple of options available to you.
There's not much outside of tearing open the floor, which I don't think would be a good idea at this point.
I mean, it's a valid
Or it
option.
might. It's a valid option, but it might also end up with people getting hurt. These mechs aren't exactly gentle.
True. However, you're very well aware that you are in an uncontrolled re-entry right now, and if action is not taken, you all might be dead.
Yeah, I think it might be better just to try and get everyone into their mechs. So I'll head back down, get into the method, and try and use it to tear open a hole to let people in further.
Okay. I would say, yeah, you head in. Your mag clamps allowing you to have much better maneuverability and mobility in this tumbling environment. And you enter in your mech. I would like you to give me a hull roll. Now, if you have any sort of systems that you think might help, you can mention them.
I might, though it might be a bit too much. Probably a bit too much.
What were you thinking?
I've got a mine.
You want to use a mine inside a
I don't know. That's the one thing I've got.
I mean, you can. I will not stop you.
Bad idea. It is such a bad idea. No. The only other thing I have that might work is I've got some knives on the mech, which I might be able to use to help cut open holes.
That might help. I'm okay with that helping. I can get you have accuracy to your roll to use your knife to precision cut a hole instead of just trying to tear open one with your mech's bare hands. That makes sense.
Yeah.
11, just enough though to succeed as you carefully take off. What kind of knives are they? Like progressive knife? What are they? Like?
No, it's just a base knife. Nothing fancy to it.
Oh yeah, just a folding knife. It just or whatever. It just this thing, and these are mech-sized knives, but you use it to carefully carve open a hole in the floors so that your canaries could easily access their mechs. So, while each of them start to file in, entering their mechs one by one. Hugin will say over comms to you, is like, we better get out of this craft if we want to land safely. You are aware that mechs can potentially survive re-entry, but it is a difficult thing to do.
Some of the mechs have flight systems in them, right?
That is correct. You will be aware that some of your fellow companions do have flight systems on their mechs.
Okay, so they are definitely going first to try and help guide people out and try and better gauge.
Okay, so lining up first, I would say one of the first ones would be Cherub, as you would be aware that she is the only one with the mech that's fully 100% flight capable and can be permanently in flight.
Yeah, she's probably got the best idea on this, so I will.
She'll say, we should probably wait until we break through near the cloud barrier to have the best chances. I can try to carry one other mech with me, but that's the max lift capacity that my mech can do.
Whose mech doesn't have any sort of flight system at all? Like no thrusters, no anything.
Throne will at this point speak up. My mech is not currently equipped with any sort of flight systems.
Would Cher be able to help Throne then?
Sure, she'll kind of curtly respond. Yes, Roger. I'll help him out.
With that, then we'll wait till we reach cloud cover, and then we'll start filing out from there.
As you guys time Hugin quickly accessing the camera feeds that are still available from the outside of the shuttle to monitor when the cloud cover is being breached, and she'll give a countdown. 3, 2, 1, now! As she opens up the hatch, the strong pull suction of the wind will begin to drag your mechs forward. Cherub 4 will rush out with her mech first, and following quickly behind her would be Throne 4. After that, one by one, the rest of you will start exiting. When do you want to exit?
I'll be the last one. I want to make sure everyone else is able to get out and be okay.
Everyone else, one by one, exits. As you approach the precipice, you see from a distance another missile beginning to streak towards your flaming landing craft. You jump off right before the explosion hits. give me an agility roll to quickly right yourself using your thrusters, and then an engineering roll to apply enough power to the thrusters to try to dampen your fall.
All right. Agility. Yeah, great. And engineering.
Yeah.
All right.
Both are successes. You managed to quickly, even though the explosion sent your mech swirling and flying, you managed to quickly use your thrusters to make micro adjustments to perfectly align your mech again and stabilize it. And then you oriented your mech so that the maximum amount of your thrusters were facing in the opposite direction of your fall and push your internal engine to its maximum, trying to slow down the fall to the best you can. I'd say you take 1d6 kinetic damage from the fall. Come on. Hey, we did it. 4 damage.
All right. That's 4. That brings me down to 9.
As you end up crashing through the tree line, wreckage and debris going through, eviscerating the nearby foliage, crashing into an incoming river and gouging out deep marks in the land. You end up landing approximately here.
And the method can move still, right?
Yeah, you get up, shaking off some of the damage as you get all your mech back on speed.
It's gonna try. I'm gonna try and move into some of the tree cover right there in front of me. Just try and get out of sight.
Sure. Yeah, you can move into the trees. You hear the cries of birds as they've taken up into the air from the disturbance. You hear the distant sounds of treads on earth. As from the opposite end. Now, are you trying to hide amongst the trees?
I'd say yes, I am.
Okay. Sure. So I'd say, sure. You know what? I'd say you'd have enough time to go into the trees that you can successfully take a hide action. You are currently hidden, so give yourself the hidden condition. As you see from the foliage, some sort of mech-like vehicles erupt. From your visual sensors, you can tell that these things are not particularly advanced machines, more solid vehicles than actual full-fledged mechanized cavalry, unlike you. But though they seem somewhat roughly put together, they are armed to the teeth. And they do not look friendly. And with that, let's begin our first combat. Shall we?
Great.
So, first turn goes to the player.
Alright, with me being hidden, they don't actually know where I am.
They do not know.
right?
They need to take a search action to find out where you are hidden.
And would they have a... They might have seen me falling down in this area probably, because they might just be searching for the wreckage.
Yeah, they've definitely followed you to this area following the wreckage. But they are not aware of your presence yet. However, they will begin to search around as they explore the area. And if you happen to be in the center sensor range when they take a search action, it will reveal you. Also, if you come out of if your end of your turn not inside invisibility, then you're no longer hidden. Because I believe you do not have any way of being invisible.
I do not know. In that case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up a reaction to fire on them, but I'm going to stick to being hidden here.
Okay, so you're going to spend a quick action to prepare a reaction to fire on them. Should they get into your range of your weapons, I believe? Is that the trigger?
Yes.
Okay. You have one more quick action and your movement. Would you like to do anything with those? Or would you like to call the end of your turn?
So I don't think I can really do much else at this
So
point.
aside from your movement, if you want to change your position, otherwise, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna sit here actually. So that's it. I'm just gonna set up the reaction.
Okay, that is valid. With that, let's say, yeah, one of the rebel tanks will take their turn. So this rebel tank will use its reaction to do a quick reposition. So at the start of its turn, it can move up to its movement speed, which I believe is 4. Yes, it is. It is 4. Yes. It's also going to move and first let's move it, and it's also going to use its movement, so that's 4 more. And it's going to boost to get to this piece of wreckage because it's going to be searching the wreckage.
That is where is it going?
It's going to go all the way here.
6 away from me. That activates my reaction.
Okay. Now remember, shooting will take away your hidden status.
So I can hold off on the reaction then until someone else comes in range.
You can
then?
choose not to have the trigger affect you. But remember, your thing only lasts for the round. If you don't use your reaction by the end of the round, then it's just gone. It's
all right. I'll hold off then to see if anyone else gets closer.
okay.
Hope I can get.
Then when it finally reaches here, it's going to do a search to try to find you. So I believe it is in order to do a search, it is its systems versus your agility.
What I gotta beat? I gotta beat a 14. All right. Let's see that. Damn it.
Okay. And immediately in its sensors, we call it pings, and it corresponds this information to the rest of the allies. Your position has been revealed. You are no longer hidden.
Fun. Oh, fun.
Okay. The next rebel tank's turn. It, now knowing where the enemy lies, is going to do the following. Yeah, it's going to use again its reposition ability to move and then move again with its actual movement. Its treads letting it move across the border without taking any movement penalties. It is then going to use its swap kit action as a quick action. And the specific swap kit that it's going to use is the marksman swap bonus. With the marksman swap bonus activated, the ordnance tag goes away from its long rifle and it's going to shoot its long rifle at you. Now, I believe you are more than 8 away from it, so that does an extra effect when and if the long rifle hits. So that's...
Oh, fun.
It misses, thankfully, as a high power, high caliber round whizzes past your head, hitting through the tree and foliage. Okay, that's its turn.
Now for the other two.
The other two's turn. Similarly, following the other, this is also going to do with its move and its reposition and move actions to get all the way till here, I'd say. Now remember, you can use your reaction anytime if you think they're within range.
Oh wait, I can still?
Yeah, your reaction is still valid. Anything that triggers it.
They are not in range.
I believe the other one was. I think this one, the one that moved previously, was.
This dude? No.
You do not have a 10 range on your heavy machine gun?
No.
What's the range on your heavy machine gun?
8.
Ah, well, that's the biggest of rips.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to repeat the same set of actions against you. Ranger long rifle. And another miss! As you manage to duck and weave amongst the trees, making them hard for them to hit you.
The method has shield built onto it for a reason.
The final one, the final one, because it doesn't need nearly as much movement, is just going to use this reposition to move to here. It's going to use its, yeah, no, but it'll still have to use its quick action, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah, same thing.
Third verse, same as the first.
Finally, a hit.
No!
Finally a hit. Right?
How
Took
could
long
you?
enough.
How could you?
It could, and it did. With that, you'll be taking 9 points of kinetic damage because it's greater than 8 squares away
How
from you.
could you do this? I can't believe you've done this. I know you've structured me.
Let's see what
Now
happens. It's thankfully just a glancing blow that would have got slides off your shields. Nonetheless, the shock from the impact has set your systems on the fritz, and you're impaired for the next turn.
Oh, fun.
So put the impaired status condition on you. Next turn, it is your turn, beginning of the round.
Okay, let's get to work then. So I'm gonna go right up to this dude. If I can actually go right up to this dude. I'm gonna go right up to this dude. Say hi to him. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to use a full action barrage. The first attack's gonna be with my flex mount on this dude.
Okay.
This here.
Are both the weapons going into this, dude?
It's a flex mount, so it's got 2 knives on it, so both of those will.
Okay.
The second one's going to be the heavy machine gun,
Right.
going to the guy in the river.
Okay, go ahead, make the rolls.
First one will hit. Second one will miss.
However, the first one was more than enough, as it managed to just duck under one, but you have a second one prepared, and you jam it at a critical point, causing the makeshift mech to completely shut off. You've destroyed it.
Then I'm going to target the next dude way over here with the heavy machine gun. That's going to severely miss.
Fortunately,
Dude.
it's managed to move quickly in the border, and the splashes from its treads kind of hinder your line of sight to it. And it managed to avoid being killed. Next person. This one.
Actually, not yet.
Oh, is there still more of your turn left? So, okay, go ahead, sorry.
Yes, there's still more. I am then going to use the Everest initiative ability,
Oh, okay.
and I'm going to plop down some hardcover.
Nice. Go ahead. As you, coming out from maybe your shoulders, pieces of cover come out and drive themselves into the ground and expand into a makeshift wall, protecting you from harm.
And that's going to be my turn.
Okay. Creating the hardcover wall. Okay. Then, what is going to happen is this mech is going to take its turn. So it, realizing you're much nearer to it and you have the hardcover plopped down, is that it's going to, first of all, it's going to do a swap kit, and specifically, it's going to swap to its skirmisher kit. And with that, it's going to then move 1, 2, 3, 4 here, and it's going to shoot with its let's see, what other weapon does that have? The explosive rifle at
Which
you.
will go through the hardcover.
Yes, so you will have hardcover here. Unfortunately,
That's
it
enough.
misses, as the hardcover in front of you takes the brunt of the damage from the shot.
Wall.
Sorry?
The wall.
The wall. Indeed, the wall paid off. the next one is going to take its turn. It's going to use its reposition ability in the start of its turn to move to here. And then it's going to fire its ordnance gun at you.
Which will bypass the wall.
Which will bypass the wall. Since it has an action to itself as well, it's going to actually first lock onto you.
Oh, fun.
And it's going to do Ranger long rifle, consume lock on, yes. And let's go take a shot. I cannot believe that missed. That is amazing. Method to man. You are dodging expert. As you duck,
It's all shields.
Oh yeah, you just put up your shield and just blocks and glances off.
Not even looking, just holding up the shield, it glances off.
The final enemy will take its movement and its reposition. So yeah, be in a similar place here, being able to see you over your wall, and yeah, same thing. Lock on and hit you with its weapon. Nothing. At the end of this turn, from the foliage up top, you'll see a familiar machine burst through.
Oh, come on, I got this. They can't touch me.
Huggins mech
There you are.
will come in and join the fray. First turn is player turn. Do you want her to go first? Or do you want you to go first?
I want to try. I want to go first on this. I'm not letting her take my kills.
Go ahead. It's your turn.
After blocking all that, I think I've earned it. First things first, I'm gonna move up 5.
Now remember, the water is difficult terrain for you. They were able to move across difficult terrains easily because they have treads, so they do not count your difficult terrain, but you do, unless you have something that can ignore it as well.
So I can get 4 then. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, you can get 4. What's your total movement? Like 6 or something?
5.
5, yes. Then you can move 4, because then you'll be in the water. With at least your base movement. You still have your boost.
So yeah, I'm gonna move up 4 to the water. I'm then going to go through, and I'm going to use up another barrage.
Okay.
This time, I'm going to use the heavy machine gun on the first guy.
Yeah.
This one right here. And the assault rifle on this one.
Okay. Go ahead.
Alright,
Roll me the heavy machine gun first.
will do. One heavy machine gun coming right up. Curses. Foil again. And one assault rifle coming right up.
Now,
You're kidding me.
thankfully, your assault rifle has reliable too. So even though these machines are very small and nimble, and they are able to evade your shots, your assault rifle is able to, being a lighter and more accurate weapon, is able to easily track the movements of these machines and causes its destruction as you riddle it
Nice, I
with
got
bullets.
one.
That is your turn. Okay, so this machine, this one, seeing you destroy now 2 of its allies, is going to use its reaction reposition to move again to here. It's going to do its swap kit to give itself the marksman swap kit bonus, and it's going to shoot with its ranger long rifle.
But it is not within. It's not further than 8.
It is not further than 8. Yes, that's true. And it misses
So it
anyway,
doesn't
so it
matter.
doesn't freaking matter. I guess. Finally, it would be Hugin's turn.
Alright, you can come in, kill steal if you want. They can't hit me.
It
Tried.
is actually what we call being smart about the tactical order of things. Will actually aim at the one machine that hasn't gone yet with its big scary explosion gun.
Yep.
So I believe it has the bombard cannon, which just is a big ass explosion.
If people were wondering why it was called Tchaikovsky's Overture, you now know why it's called Tchaikovsky's Overture.
Well, they both what we call get hit, and absolutely one of them are already destroyed, but the other one is also has joined its allies.
The one that was already hit, it's just hit more.
Furthermore, because it's such a freaking big gun, and it has a lot of effects tied to the fact that it's a big gun, it has earth shaker shells, so both of these get flung back. I believe, what's it? No, they both get knocked prone, doesn't matter, they're already destroyed. And it also has, I believe, cluster munitions? So it does additional damage, which doesn't matter, they're already dead. And it has cluster seeker bombs. So even if it had missed, they would be still fucking dead.
Tchaikovsky's Overture, why?
A lot of death.
Tchaikovsky, no!
And with that, that's the end of this round. It's the beginning of the next round. You definitely looks like the final remaining one will attempt to run away, but it is player turn first.
And I'm gonna say no to that. First things first. Quick action, tech attack, lock on.
Sure.
Second thing second. Quick action, skirmish, heavy machine gun. This thing's actually gonna get a kill in today, I swear.
So you're doing a skirmish then. So okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Consume lock on the dude.
Yep.
Oh, you are kidding me.
Not today. And thankfully, with its turn, it's good use all of its movement,
Why?
which is more than enough to get off the map and
Why?
successfully
No.
run away.
How could you? How could you do this to me?
And with that,
Why?
the combat is over. However, that doesn't save you from the situation you've found yourself in.
I know I have to talk to Hugin now, and she's in a mech this time.
Hugin will walk her mech over to yours, and say over comms, "What's going on? What happened?"
I was hoping you would tell me. Any word from anyone else? Is everyone okay?
I'm not sure. You're the first one I found. And she tries to look over comms. Let me try to send a signal out to everybody else.
Hold off on that. See what information you can pull up first. Maybe there's talk about what's going on the Omninet or something.
Omninet. Yeah, that's a good idea. She clicks. Wait. That's not right. It's not connect. The Omninet is down. Muninn, why is the Omninet down? This is a core world.
Goodness. Radio signals. Anything else we got?
Radio, right? That's smart. You can tell that her mind is racing a million miles a minute, and you kind of giving her ideas of what to do next is at least keeping her somewhat calm. And she goes, and there's silence from her, and for a bit, and then she's like, "Muninn, you might want to hear this." As she patches through the radio feed to you. Over the comms, the loud voice speaks out. "People of planet Maltesian, we declare our independence from the Union. No longer will be struck down by the laws and the enforcements of unknown strangers living light years away. We, the people of Maltsteed, call for a new reformations. All Union ships are hereby disallowed from entering this planet and will be treated as hostile." As the speech continues to blare on, Hugin will pop in. It's not just this one frequencies. It's blaring over all frequencies.
And you didn't hear about this?
No, I mean, this is supposed to be a core world. I've heard of planets wanting to separate from Union in the rim, but a core world, a utopic world, this is unheard of. This can't be real. As you guys are debating about the gravity of the situation, when how much you should take into consideration what you've heard over the radio, over the horizon you see flying towards you is a familiar craft from the north.
Oh, there you are.
Cherub's mech carrying with her Throne Force mech.
And that's it?
Those are the only two people that you see emerge.
What happened to everyone else?
At this point, Cherub 4 will speak up. I did a round sweep of the area, at least the best I could without getting shot at. None of the other mechs made it. Principality is gathering up the rest of our mates though. They all survived. We took down a convoy a little north of here. I think we can salvage their transport for our use.
All right. We've got a few of their, I guess mechs, if you can call them that, destroyed here. Can any of you see if you can pull some information off it? Maybe records or something? Maybe like communications, logs, maybe signals going to them, something. I'm gonna check the ship, see if we can get an idea of where we could go from here. There's gotta be like, yeah, we had a lot of area according to what Hugin said, but like, there's gotta be a base or something we could hide out at.
So at this point, if you're going to, I would require some sort of hack or fix roll to try to recover data from the wreckage. That's what you were saying?
Yep, which I don't have, but I'll have to hope for it.
Okay, you can ask for one of the other canaries' helps. Let's say Thrones will help you out with that. He'll come over. He's like, I have a little bit of technical expertise. Maybe we can try to figure this out together.
Alright. So I'm gonna roll 1d6 plus 1. Well, 1d20 plus 1d6, right?
That is correct.
No. Oh. 16.
Oh, that's actually a very good roll.
And was someone making the roll to check the wreckage of the other mechs?
Right. So I would say Hugin makes a roll to check for the other mechs. She
The
would
one
be.
I sliced open. Not the
Yeah,
one
I would say
you
she
gave up.
is. She is pretty proficient in this kind of thing. So I'd say plus 2. And I'd say she'd probably even have a data port, so it gives her advantage. Yeah, she's fairly successful too on her end.
Okay.
While you guys are going through the wreckage and kind of collecting data, from the north, a large truck will arrive, carrying, and out of it will step out from the driver's seat, Principality 4. He's like, we have the rest of the canaries in here.
Right. I've got extra room in the method if it's a bit cramped in the truck.
Oh, you have an extra compartment, what's it called? Carry?
Expanded compartment.
Expanded
yeah.
compartment?
If it's cramped in there, I've got room for one more person in here.
He nods. I think we'll be fine, at least in the truck, though. Might be worthwhile to take someone. I don't know. What's going on? What do we do?
We're working on figuring that out. Hugin found that there's broadcasts about a revolution, but we're looking into that.
Yeah, seems more than that. From what I could find, these guys are using some pretty primitive tech. This thing is mostly farming equipment and transportation equipment with guns strapped onto it than actual machines of war. They're using very basic low frequency radio communications to organize their efforts. I've got one of their communicators was relatively intact. I think I can use them to at least help us avoid further patrols. But that still doesn't help us figure out what we're going to do.
I might have something for that. What was I able to pull from the wreckage?
So
again?
from the wreckage, you were able to pull the destination of where your shuttle was initially supposed to land. As mentioned earlier, SSC, the parent company of the Canary Institution, had essentially bought off a large section of land on this planet to use as a training grounds for you. And on this area was a facility for you guys to stay at, including a landing pad for re-entry shuttle to land on. If you are in luck, maybe there are some sort of old school satellite phones available at the facility to reach out. It's your best hope to get a signal off the planet with OmniNet down.
It would also probably, hopefully, have supplies as well.
Supplies, food, power for your mechs. And as you think about the power for your mechs, another realization dawns upon you. It's not only your mechs that require power, but Hugin's suit. It has a limited operation time. You worked with her enough in the field to know that it can last for 24 hours. But if you don't get to a proper station for it to recharge, it could get bad.
And have I worked with the recharge system on it before? Like, do I know any of like its circuitry?
Well, you have mentioned before that you've been trying to mess with Hugin's sword. So you would have a basic idea of his general internal circuitry. Like I said, for the most part, it is just another ordinary exosuit with extra bits built in to be a more advanced kind of filtration system. And that, honestly, is the biggest kind of issue, is that the filtration system works on a very special circuit that, requires it to be properly recharged at stations specifically built for the suit. You could try to reverse engineer something that makes it charge off of one of your mechs or the truck's engine, but you have to be careful as there's some very delicate circuitry in there, and prying the wrong voltage or amperage could fry it completely. Thankfully, from your data that you received, and since you were very quick relatively about gathering data from the site, you know that if you set off right now, you'll have about 4 or so hours to spare before you reach the facility. And the facility will definitely have proper charging ports for Hugin, since it was built for you all to stay at for the duration of the field trip.
Alright, so we've got a location, we've got an idea on listening in and avoiding their stuff. So it's just getting over there then.
That would be accurate.
I'll bring this up. So I'll bring this up with the rest of you because I know this whole thought was like Principality asking like where we go, right? So yeah, I'll let them all know that there's a station waiting for us about 4 hours from here. I've got
No, you'll arrive, so it's 48 hours, so it'll be technically 44 hours of travel, but 4 hours to spare for Hugin's sake. So still plenty of time to get her plugged in.
Alright. So yeah, I'll let them know it's about 44 hours from here, March. We'll have to take shifts with piloting the mechs. But with everything we've got, we can avoid detection from them as well.
Yes. Thankfully, with you being able to listen into the radio chatter, you can patrol their movements. and try your best to avoid them and further conflicts. You know that the direction you need to head is northeast. So with that, I think all of you would be off. As all of you begin to march off.
Oh, actually, before we do, I do want to make a repair roll real quick to just.
Oh, sure.
get
Yeah,
back
yeah.
that
Make a
structure.
yeah. You allow enough time to do a repair. With that, you all begin kind of very somber march, very tense march through the tree line, trying your best to avoid, plot out your route in such a way that avoids any patrols from these insurrectionists. As at the same time keeping an eye on the time. As you march on and the sun begins to fall low, Hugin will kind of reach out to you privately over the comms of her mech. It's deep night in the forest.
Yeah, what is it?
She'll say, pause for a minute, kind of mulling over how to phrase her question. And she says, why do you think they're doing it?
The revolt?
Yeah. I mean, we were always told in all our textbooks and all our studies that the main goal of Union, it's utopia project, and that the core worlds had achieved them. If this place is a utopia, then why would they want to do a revolt?
I don't know.
She says, and you can see her mech's head kind of tilt, main sensors kind of tilt up, which is its head, and gaze upon the sky. And she says, it's not often we get to look at the night sky from within an atmosphere, do we?
It's nice.
Makes the rest of everything seem so far away.
Not as far as it normally would be. At the end of the day, it's still the same stars up there. Sure, maybe different pattern, different orientation from here, but still the same ones.
True. But maybe it's because we're no longer near the galactic core. But the stars feel more distant here. Not so close and bearing down upon us. I know this is supposed to be a core world, but without the OmniNet, with this revolt, it might as well be a rim world.
I thought those even had the OmniNet, though.
Well, spotty connections, yes. At least from what I've read. What do you think will happen to this planet? I mean, Union would eventually send in their forces, wouldn't they?
Maybe it's... Honestly, there's just not enough to go off of. We don't know who started this, over what or why. We don't know anything here. we know, could just be someone trying to grab power for themselves.
That is
They
true.
could have a reason. They might not.
We have absolutely, you're right. We have absolutely no idea what the future holds for this place. But isn't that kind of good? I mean, we've always known exactly what holds for our future.
You're thinking about something, aren't you?
She kind of sighs. No, it's dumb.
If you thought it important enough to voice,
It's just stupid thought. I guess I had in my head that if this place really is no longer connected to Union, then this place is no longer reachable by it. Then this place is then no longer connected to or reachable by the SSC. And by extension, this place is no longer connected to and can't be reached by the institution. Caretaker can't reach us here.
you really don't like her, do you?
It's not really a purpose of like. I don't. She thinks for a second. I don't really hate her. In a sense, she's not too different from us. Another thing made by the Institute to serve a purpose. It's just. I'm wondering if we couldn't find any way to contact the outside world when we arrive at our cabins. If we just disappear into the jungles of these worlds, the forests of these worlds, how long would it take for them to find us?
You're really thinking of just leaving like that?
She just thinks for a minute. She says, nah, we're too important assets for them. They'll hunt us down no matter where we go.
No, that's not what I... Eugen. You're you. Don't think of it as what they want for you. Think of what you want. Think of it as what we all want. Family.
She scoffs. What family? They put a bunch of genetic experiments in one closed off facility and gave us a machine as an excuse for a parent.
And we may do. Yeah, some of us aren't very great at talking, but we may do.
She thinks for a second. I can't stop thinking ever since those Gen 1s died. That is going to be our lives, isn't it? We're going to finish our training from the Canary Institute. We're going to serve as part of the Union Navy until we get our Lancer ranks. And then we're going to return back to Manu. Finally go into those hyperstructures. And that will be our lives.
Well, so you're the one person I thought would be happy about that. Seeing what exactly is in there. Especially the way you talk about it.
It does interest me, yes. But she'll sigh. You won't get it. And with that,
What makes you say that?
Because, Muninn, despite what they say about our generations, you are exactly what they want. And I am not.
Would they have given you your own room if they didn't want you?
Sometimes I feel like they just don't want to waste the money and effort they put in.
I didn't think that. You're still the only one of us that has a computer. Most of us just have phones.
She sighs. It really doesn't bother you, does it? What we are, how we were made.
Well, if there was any other way it happened, then I wouldn't be me.
Sometimes she kind of does a dry chuckle. Says, sometimes I fear that that's exactly what they want us to think. And with that, she'll cut comms. And with that, you're left to ruminate on your thoughts as your future is uncertain. Panic is settling in amongst your fellow canaries. And Hugin is having thoughts of desertion. And with that, actually, I think we're going to call it a stop for tonight.
Just leave them to wander in the forest forever? Okay, I see how it is.